Hello, this is an English language lesson and we are going to discuss the PT3 format. Let's look at the new format for the PT3 which was introduced in the year 2019. So you have here the format for all the 4 papers, paper 1, paper 2, paper 3 and paper 4. So the code for English is 12. So paper 1 is 12/1, paper 2 is 12/2, paper 3 12/3 and paper 4 12/4. So paper 1 is reading and use of English and paper 2 is the writing paper. Paper 3 is speaking and paper 4 is for listening. Here are some details about the papers. Paper 1, there are 5 parts, marks 40 and time is 1 hour 15 minutes. For paper 2 there are 2 parts, marks 40, the time is 1 hour. For paper 3 there are 3 parts, marks 20 and time will be 11 minutes. For paper 4 marks 25 and time 35 minutes. For this lesson we are going to look at speaking. So speaking is paper 3. Let's look at the details here or the information. The speaking test is taken by all Form 3 students. Paper format, 3 sections, all aim at the A2 to B1 CEFR range, with an increase in level as the candidate progresses through the test. The test is taken as a paired test. Number of tasks, there are 3. There will be interview, test type interview, individual prompt, card story, and discussion based on mind map input. The input, word limits in place for each test part. All input checked for compliance with stated CFR level. Instructions. Instructions for the task are given by the interlocutor. Some prompting may be present on material presented to the task takers to scaffold responses appropriately. Time allowed 11 minutes. Marking. The paper is examiner marked in situ by 2 trained examiners. There will be an interlocutor who manages the interaction and provides an overall score for spoken production, and an assessor who provides scores for grammar, vocabulary, and communicative competence. Weighting. So, candidates are assessed according to 4 criteria: overall spoken production, grammar, vocabulary, and communicative competence. So the weight will be for these 4 parts or items. Task focus. Tasks cover a range of language relevant foci. It could be assumed that the relevant CEFR descriptors for the A2 to B1 levels will be referenced throughout the test material production process. The descriptors referred to are derived from curriculum learning standards. Now let's look at paper 3, 12/3 for speaking. There are 3 parts in the speaking paper. So part 1 is an interview, 2 questions for each candidate. Part 2, it is individual prompt card story or storytelling. So there is 1 question for each candidate. Part 3 is a discussion task. There is 1 question for 2 candidates. Again, time 11 minutes, marks 20. Design for speaking assessment. So here we have the interlocutor who is your subject teacher. Then there will be 2 candidates in front of the interlocutor. And beside the interlocutor, there is the assessor who is a school English teacher. Part 1. Time given is 2 to 3 minutes. So there are general questions. The interlocutor can ask questions such as, what's your name? Where do you live? Do you enjoy studying English? Do you like learning English? Should I call you? Do you have English lessons every day? So these are some of the questions. And the interlocutor also can select one or two of the following questions for each candidate. The candidate is given 30 seconds per questions. Some of the questions are: what do you usually do after school? Do you watch TV after school? What do you usually eat in the school canteen? What's your favorite food at school? Tell me about your favorite teacher. Who is your favorite teacher? What do you usually do during your free time? Do you like shopping in your free time? Why or why not? Do you like listening to music? What's your favorite kind of music? Where do you usually go during the holidays? Do you go anywhere in the holidays? What's the best present you have ever had? Has anyone given you a really good present? Which country would you like to visit? And then they could, the interlocutor could ask for the reasons. That's why they have the question why or why not. So now let's look at the sample for paper 3. Here you have candidate A. So candidate A tells a story. You have a series of pictures. So this is task 1A. In this part of the test, the interlocutor will ask you to look at the pictures, and then you have to answer the questions. For example, tell us the story in the pictures. There could be some prompts like, what can you see in the pictures? What are the people doing? Or tell me about the pictures. And then candidate B has to answer a question. For example, how would you like to celebrate your birthday? Let's look at candidate B. Now candidate B tells a story. So this is task 1B. So the question by the interlocutor could be, now tell us the story in the pictures. Or, what can you see in the pictures? What are the people doing? Tell me about the pictures. Or tell me about this person. Okay? And then candidate A has to answer a question. Do you usually save up your money to buy something that you liked? Why or why not? For the third part, candidate A and B discuss a task. You'll be given a mind map and the question is in the middle. For example, what would students bring on the camping trip? So around the main bubble, there are 6 bubbles. A mobile phone, magazines and books, a torch, snacks and sweets, a map and an umbrella. So the interlocutor will ask you to, now I would like you to talk about something together for about 2 minutes. I'm going to describe a situation to you. I'd like you to imagine your school is organizing a camping trip in the jungle and you need to think about what to take with you. Here are some things you could take with you. First, you have some time to look at the task. The candidates are given 15 seconds to look at the task. Now, talk together about the different things you could take on the camping trip and say which one would be the most important. So remember that you have about 3 minutes to complete this discussion. Dear pupils, now you can look at the sample videos. Here is sample video 1.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Puan Rashida Hussein.
And here's my colleague, Puan Nur Shazwani Ibrahim. She will just listen to us. Now, what's your name?
My name is Ashraf bin Ahmad.
Thank you. And what's your name?
My name Muhammad Filmi.
Thank you. Where do you live, Ashraf?
Putrajaya.
And you, Firmi?
I am Cyberjaya.
Do you enjoy studying English, Ashraf?
Not.
Do you like learning English, Firmi?
Yes, I do.
Ashraf, what do you usually do after school?
I don't understand.
Do you watch TV after school?
Yes.
What do you usually eat in the school canteen?
I eat noodle.
Thank you. Ashraf, where do you usually go during the holidays?
I don't know.
Do you go anywhere in the holidays?
Yes.
Okay, Firmi. Which country would you like to visit?
Japan.
Why?
Because it clean country.
Thank you. In this part of the test, I'm going to give each of you 5 pictures which tell a story. I'd like you to talk about them on your own for about a minute. You also need to answer a question briefly about your partner's pictures. Ashraf, it's your turn first. Here are your pictures. You now have some time to look at the pictures. Okay, are you ready, Ashraf? Now tell us the story in the pictures.
A girl looking to calendar. He think his mother, and he go to Susie's shop, and he pay to counter, and he go to party and balloon, and he his mother coming and enjoy.
Thank you. Firmi,
Yes.
how would you like to celebrate your birthday?
I would like to celebrate my birthday at McDonald's.
Thank you. Can I have the booklet, please? Now, Firmi,
Yes.
here are your pictures. You now have some time to look at the pictures. Okay, are you ready, Firmi?
Yes.
Now tell us the story in the pictures.
A boy want to buy shoe. He don't have money. He
Yeah, tell me about the third picture.
he collecting newspaper. He bring newspaper to recycling center. He pay and got the shoe.
Thank you. Ashraf, do you usually save up your money to buy something that you like?
I not save.
Why not?
I don't like to save.
Thank you. Can I have the booklet, please? Now, I'd like you to talk about something together for about 2 minutes. I'm going to describe a situation to you. I'd like you to imagine your school is organizing a camping trip in the jungle, and you need to think about what to take with you. Here are some things you could take with you. First, you have some time to look at the task. Now, talk together about the different things you could take on the camping trip and say which one would be the most important. Are you ready?
Yes.
Please start.
I think a mobile phone is good to bring. A map.
What about you?
A map. Good.
Map also good. What about umbrella?
Umbrella is okay.
I think
What about this point? Firmi.
magazine and book. I think no.
Not good.
No good.
Do you agree, Ashraf?
I agree.
I think mobile phone is important, most important to bring on camping trip.
And do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Thank you. That is the end of the test. Can I have the booklet, please? Thank you.
The next one is sample video 2.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Puan Noshida Hussein, and this is my colleague, Nik Masliza Nate Muhammad. She will just listen to us. Now, what's your name?
My name is Manish Raghunatha.
Thank you. And what's your name?
My name is Ria Camelia.
Thank you. Where do you live, Manish?
I live in Precinct 8, Putrajaya.
And you, Ria?
I live in Cyberjaya.
Do you enjoy studying English, Manish?
Yes, I enjoy studying English. It's one of my favorite subjects.
Thank you. Do you like learning English, Ria?
Yes, because I grew up speaking it and I think it's a very fun language to express ourselves in.
Thank you. Manish, what do you usually do after school?
After school, on most days, I would go back home, maybe watch TV or study. And if I have tuition, I'd go for tuition. But on Fridays, I have to stay back a bit longer and do my duties as a librarian.
Thank you. What about you? What do you usually eat in the school canteen, Ria?
I usually eat rice with the sauce that's provided with the canteen.
Okay. Manish, tell me about your favorite teacher.
My favorite teacher? My favorite teacher would probably be Madam Azliza, because she's one of the first teachers I met when I went into the school, and she teaches one of my favorite subjects, maths.
Thank you. Ria, do you like listening to music?
Yes, because it makes me peaceful and very easy to control myself.
Thank you. In this part of the test, I'm going to give each of you 5 pictures which tell a story. I'd like you to talk about them on your own for about a minute. You also need to answer a question briefly about your partner's pictures. Manish, it's your turn first. Here are your pictures. You now have some time to look at the pictures. Okay, are you ready, Manish?
Yes.
Now tell us the story in the pictures.
Okay, so in these pictures, it tells the story of Diana. It's 9th March and her mother's birthday will be tomorrow. So she's planned a surprise party with one of her mother's best friends for today when her mom gets back from work. While her mom's friend goes and buys decorations, Diana goes to Susie's gift shop, which is in the town, and decides to buy her mother a watch among of the many gifts that they sell. After that, Diana goes to Zati's bakery and buys one of her mom's favorite desserts, Zati's world-famous Black Forest cake. She quickly rushes home to let her mom's friend Linda into the house, and they start decorating with the help of her younger sister. As Diana's mom rolls up on the driveway, they all hide behind the dining table with the lights off. Waiting a few minutes, as Diana's mother enters the house and walks into the dining room, surprised by the lack of people, as her daughters are normally home at this time. She receives a pleasant surprise as her daughters and one of her oldest friends jumps out from behind the dining table, shouting, "Surprise!"
Thank you. Ria, how would you like to celebrate your birthday?
I would like to have a subtle birthday party with my close friends and family.
Thank you. Can I have the booklet, please?
Yes.
Now, Ria, here are your pictures. You now have some time to look at the pictures. Okay, are you ready, Ria?
Yes.
Now tell us the story in the pictures.
Haris has been saving up for weeks to buy his new pair of shoes as his old pair has been worn out. He was so excited to buy these shoes that as soon as the mall opened, he rushed to the mall. Later that day, he went back home and counted the amount of money that he had collected, and unfortunately realized that he was 10 ringgit short. Instead of giving up, he then searched around his house for reusable things such as bottles and newspapers. Not only did he search around his house, he searched around his neighborhood and asked his fellow neighbors if they had any things they wanted to give away. In hopes of buying his new shoes, he went to the recycling center to exchange the items with money. In excitement, he headed to the store before it closed and then bought his shoe immediately.
Thank you. Manish,
Yes.
do you usually save up your money to buy something that you like?
Yes, as if I have any spare money at the end of the day, it goes straight into my savings box.
Thank you. Can I have the booklet, please? Now, I'd like you to talk about something together for about 2 minutes. I'm going to describe the situation to you. I'd like you to imagine your school is organizing a camping trip in the jungle, and you need to think about what to take with you. Here are some things you could take with you. First, you have some time to look at the task. Now, talk together about the different things you can take on the camping trip and say which one would be the most important. Are you ready?
Yes.
Please start.
In my opinion, students should bring snacks and sweets on a camping trip, as we all know that students are always eating and have something to feed on. And it is also a necessity as it gives us energy to do activities.
Yeah, I agree. And as well as a torch is also a really useful tool that you should bring on a camping trip, because especially in the night when there are no lights in the wilderness and such, it can be helpful if you want to go to the outhouse or if you're searching for something in your tent and such.
Do you think an umbrella is necessary?
I probably would say that an umbrella isn't as necessary as some of the other things, because if you brought something like a windbreaker, it would be much more useful than umbrella.
In addition, I think magazines and books would be a fun thing to bring along on this trip.
I agree. Sometimes if on the way or on the way back from the trip, you could use the magazines and books to pass the time on the bus or the transport.
Yes. I think we both can agree that snacks and sweets is one of the most important things to bring on this trip.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. That is the end of the test. Can I have the booklet, please?
Here we have sample video 3.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Puan Norshida Hussein, and this is my colleague, Puan Masliza Nid Muhammad. She will just listen to us. Now, what's your name?
My name is Fazwan Harith bin Shahrudin, and you can call me Fazwan.
Thank you. And what's your name?
My name is Nur Adriana Arisa binti Abdul Khalik, and you can call me Adriana.
Thank you. Where do you live, Fazwan?
I live in Precinct 9 Putrajaya.
I live in Precinct 11.
Okay, do you enjoy studying English, Fazwan?
Yes, indeed, I enjoy studying English, as I have been learning it since I was 6 years old, and I've learned to grow up with English.
Thank you. Do you like learning English, Adriana?
I do, because learning is fun, and there's many activities that I can do in learning English.
Thank you. Fazwan,
Yes.
what do you usually do after school?
Most of the days I would stay back after school for approximately 2 to 3 hours. Most of the time I would play football or I will do personal revisions.
And Adriana, what do you usually eat in the school canteen?
I usually eat fried chicken or biscuits that are provided by the canteen.
Fazwan,
Yes.
do you like listening to music?
I'm not really into music, so I don't really listen to music.
Why not?
Because I don't feel it's a need in my life, and I prefer living without it.
Adriana, what's the best present you've ever had?
The best present that I've ever had is a watch that was given by my parents during my birthday.
Thank you. In this part of the test, I'm going to give each of you 5 pictures which tell a story. I'd like you to talk about them on your own for about a minute. You also need to answer a question briefly about your partner's pictures. Fazwan, it's your turn first. Here are your pictures. You now have some time to look at the pictures. Okay, Fazwan, are you ready?
Yes.
Now tell us the story in the pictures.
It is 9th of March, the day Emily and her sisters Stella and Andra have been waiting for. They have been preparing for these days for weeks now. While Emily and Stella stayed at home decorating and preparing the dining table with balloons and banners, Emily went out to the Susie's gift shop to buy gifts. Afterwards, she went to the Aunt May's bakery to buy her mother's favorite cake. And she returned home and contributed in decorating the dining table. At about 8 p.m., they hid behind the table patiently in the dark to wait for their mother to come in. As their mother came in, they surprised her mother with party poppers and a wish.
Thank you, Fazwan. Adriana, how would you like to celebrate your birthday?
I would want a surprise birthday party with my relatives and my close friends.
Thank you. Can I have the booklet, please? Now, Adriana, here are your pictures. You now have some time to look at the pictures. Okay, are you ready, Adriana?
Yes.
Now tell us the story in the pictures.
It was 10 in the morning when Ali went to the mall all by himself. He had always dreamed of buying a new pair of shoes since his old shoes are all worn out. At the shoe shop, he saw a very good shoes that he liked. Later that day, he went back to his home and realized that he didn't have enough money to buy the shoes. Instead of feeling gloomy about it, he went to his kitchen as soon as possible to collect all the recyclable items to sell at the recycling center. Fortunately, he managed to earn some amount of money and use it to buy the new shoes. He couldn't wait to tell his friends about it.
Thank you. Fazwan,
Yes.
do you usually save up your money to buy something that you like?
Yes, I usually save money, especially after school days. I keep it in my saving box.
Thank you. Can I have the booklet, please? Thank you. Now, I'd like you to talk about something together for about 2 minutes. I'm going to describe a situation to you. I'd like you to imagine your school is organizing a camping trip in the jungle, and you need to think about what to take with you. Here are some things you could take with you. First, you have some time to look at the task. Now, talk together about the different things you could take on the camping trip and say which one would be the most important. Are you ready?
Yes.
Please start.
In my opinion, it is essential for students to bring their own snacks and sweets because they will feel very tired from doing all the activities during the camping trip.
Yes, I agree. Energy boosters are required for students as the activities carried out will be tiring. Adriana, do you think torches are required for students to bring?
I don't think it is important because we can use a mobile phone instead as a flashlight.
So, how about maps?
I do think it is important so that we wouldn't get lost in the woods. Moving on with magazines and books, I do think it is important to bring them because it will entertain us during the camping trip.
I'll have to disagree with you. I don't think magazines and books are important because the objective of camping is to reconnect with the nature. But by bringing magazines and book, you get isolated from the nature. Yeah. What do you think about umbrellas?
I think we should bring an umbrella in case of unfortunate weather, and we could also use it to protect us from dangerous animals like snakes. And yeah, I think this is why we should bring an umbrella.
I agree with you. Above all of these options, which one do you think is the most important?
I think it's snacks and sweets is the most important items to bring on the camping trip.
Okay, thank you. That is the end of the test. Can I have the booklet, please?
Dear pupils, with this sharing, I hope that you'll be able to prepare for your speaking paper for PT3 in a better way. And do subscribe to my channel. It is called Educator Omni Tube. Signing off, I'm Madam Gan. Bye bye.